Good morning. I'm Dr. Mark McMorris Jr. Today's message draws from the books of Ezekiel, Proverbs, and Matthew. The watchman's duty. Ezekiel paints a vivid picture. He says the watchman stands on the wall. He says the watchman stands on the wall looking for danger. His task is simple. If he sees the sword coming, he must blow the trumpet to warn the people. If he does his duty and the people ignore him, their blood is on their own hands. But if he sees danger and he stays silent, God says, I will hold the watchman accountable. This is more than a metaphor about ancient cities. It is a spiritual principle about responsibility. Silence in the face of danger is not neutrality, it's a failure. God holds leaders accountable when they do not act to protect life. Today, our watchmen are local leaders. That could be a parish counselor, that could be county boards, sheriffs, and those entrusted with authority. Their responsibility is to protect the community, to enforce the law, and to stand against injustice. Yet, too often, when it comes to animal cruelty, neglect, abandonment, these watchmen stay silent. You know, a puppy dumped on a parish road, horses left to starve in a pasture, dogs chained without food or water or shelter. Citizens call, send emails, ask for help, but for the most part, deputies do not show up. No investigation is opened. No council meeting addresses the issue. All the animals suffer in silence. This is the very picture Ezekiel warned against. Watchmen who see danger but do not act. Leaders who see cruelty but look away. And you know, Scripture is clear. God will hold them accountable. Justice and the righteous heart. Proverbs 29:7 reminds us the righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. The poor in this verse are the vulnerable, the powerless, the ones who cannot defend themselves. That includes the animals God created and entrusted to human stewardship. The righteous show concern. They care. They respond. The wicked, on the other hand, excuse themselves. You hear them say, it's not my job. We don't have the resources. We don't have the manpower. They say, doesn't matter. For the most part, just an animal. But Scripture does not allow that excuse. If you are righteous, you care about justice. If you are wicked, you do not. This verse is a mirror of our leaders today. Are they righteous or are they wicked? Do they care about justice for the powerless or do they shrug it off? Their choices answer the question more loudly than their words. The least of these, Jesus says in Matthew 25:40, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Most of us apply this to feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, visiting the sick, and rightly so. But Jesus' principle reaches further. It is about how we treat the overlooked, the vulnerable, the ones society deems unimportant. When we care for the least of these, we are caring for Christ Himself. When we ignore them, we ignore Him. And that includes how we treat animals. God's creation, living beings entrusted to our dominion, not for exploitation, but for care. A man is standing before Christ and saying, I ignored the cries of the hungry dog. I looked away from the abandoned cats. I shrugged when the horses collapsed in the open field. Do we think Jesus will say, that was fine, they were only animals? Or will He say, whatever you did not do for the least of these, you did not do for me? These are real-world failures. I have seen this firsthand. As a former deputy sheriff and as a rescuer, I've watched local government fail to act. I have called for help and received no responses. I have seen cruelty written off as not important. I've seen rescuers forced to take on the work that government should be doing. And every time leaders fail, the message spreads. Crime does not matter, cruelty is acceptable, and the vulnerable can be ignored. That message is poison to a community. It erodes trust, it weakens justice, and it hardens hearts. So what do we do when leaders fail? Ezekiel gives us the answer. We must become the trumpet. If the watchman on the wall will not blow the horn, then the people must sound it themselves. We must hold our leaders accountable. We must call, we must write, we must attend meetings and document every failure. We must remind them animal cruelty is not optional, it's a crime. We must be persistent. Our voices must be persistent and refuse to be silent. And above all, we must refuse to let silence become our complicity. Silence sides with the oppressor. Silence allows cruelty to continue. But when we speak, when we act, when we demand justice, we align ourselves with the heart of God, a God who defends the weak and cares for the least. In closing, my friends, leadership may fail, government may ignore, but Scripture does not bend. The call is clear. Protect the vulnerable, speak for the voiceless, and act on behalf of the least of these. Let us be the trumpet when the watchman refuses. Let us be the voice the animals do not have. And let us remember that when we care for them, we are caring for Christ Himself. I thank you for listening. I'll be here every Sunday morning with another message drawn from Scripture and the soul. I hope you'll join me. Until then, may your heart stay tender and your actions reflect compassion. This is Dr. Mark. Thank you.